Oh shit.
I think he's hungry. Oh shit, yeah.
Is he crying or is he?
Yeah, he's coughing, he's coughing. He's so.
Don't you think it's ironic that he's sleeping in our bed and we're in his nursery filming?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's begin. Hey. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
Oh, no, I just... Hi, guys. Welcome back to our channel, or welcome to our channel. If this is your first time watching, this is our family channel recently created, but if you're coming from one of our other videos, we are so happy to have you back. This is going to be the story time of how I found out I was pregnant. Let's start at the beginning. I met Andres. If you don't know who that is my hubby. I met Andres my junior year of high school. We were in the same physics class, but we were literally just acquaintances back then, even though I was secretly in love with him. Yeah, basically I came back with different energy my senior year. I was very secure with myself, and I feel like that attracted Andres, whereas before I was a little more shy, a little more insecure. I was scared to approach him. He was in a different place as well. And our senior year, we became friends. We started partying together.
That's not my story, man.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear a story time about how Andres and I met, or how we started dating, or how the whole epic craziness love story began, just leave a comment down below. Andres and I officially began dating December 17th, 2018. December 17th, 2018. Yeah, that's the one. I found out I was pregnant March of 2020. So basically, everyone knows that in high school or in college or around this age, girls, guys, at least in my experience, the people that I know, me, tend to be either irresponsible or they have accidents happen. And so you always have had that friend that's like, oh my god, like I think I'm pregnant, this is happening, my period's late. And it's like, really, everyone knows that said girl is just being over dramatic, and she's not actually pregnant, she just wants attention. I don't know if I'm the only person that's experienced this, but I've had friends and I've known girls that literally just make it such a big deal thinking they're pregnant, and they're not really pregnant, and they know they're not pregnant. In my case, I honestly thought that's what was happening, because periods are a mess and they come late and it happens constantly. PMS is so similar to early pregnancy symptoms. So honestly, I was like, I think I'm pregnant, but really, I thought I was going to be fine. It had been about 2 weeks already that my period was late, which wasn't weird for me because I've always had irregular periods, but it was different because I had been on birth control already, which regulated my periods, and so I didn't get late periods like to that degree. It was 14 days late. It was crazy. But I wanted to wait it out because I was sure it was going to come. So I kept on postponing it. And my symptoms just started to get severely worse. I think the very first thing that kind of like struck me, that got me thinking like, this is a little out of the normal, was my period being late. But then after that, it was the fact that my boobs hurt like no other. I was like engorged, like my boobs were huge. And I think it was the night before I took the pregnancy test. I had a few Kool-Aids with my sister, and I was just very upset, and I was like, look at my boobs, like this is insane. Another thing that was happening that was just also really standoffish was I wasn't experiencing nausea yet, but it was like a gross hangover feeling. I was having like aversions to food. Everything just seemed gross. And it happened for like about 2 days before I started to get freaked out. But that was pretty much it. I had cramping, which is what made me believe that I was going to get my period. I was Googling everything. But I wanted to put off the pregnancy test so much because I wanted to be 100% sure that once I took that one pregnancy test, there was no chance I was pregnant. After 17 days of not having my period, I had spoken to Andres, and I was like, honestly, I can't wait anymore, because we had agreed to take the test together. But my anxiety was at an all-time high. He was at work, and I called him up, and I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna go take the test, and I can wait for you to get back, but I really need to go buy it. And I end up buying it, and I just decide I'm gonna take it. Where I live, there is a Walgreens corner store right next to my house. I grabbed my keys and I just left, and I remember my parents asking me questions about where I was going. They later told me that they were really stressed out, that they could tell I was acting off, which obviously, as much as I tried to hide it, like, it's nerve-wracking. So I went to the corner store and I got a pregnancy test. I got one of the clear blues. I wanted to be 100% sure. And as soon as I got home, I read the instructions. That is how sure I wanted to be. Who reads the instructions on a pregnancy test? But I read the instructions, and it said that for best results, I should pee in a cup and just dip it for like 5 seconds or something. This goes to show you how obviously unprepared I was for baby. Like, I grabbed a plastic shot glass, I peed in it, and that's what I used to dip the pregnancy test into. Keep in mind, at this moment in time, my mom said that she was having this really weird feeling and she wanted to come check up on me. And so this is all happening, and she's making her way upstairs. I finished up, I dipped it, I put it face down, I'm like getting dressed and everything, and I come out and I flip it over just to check, and I swear it had only been 30 seconds. I grab this test, I turn it over just to see where the bar is at, and it already said pregnant. When I tell you, my heart dropped. It was the most surreal experience. That I can still envision what I went through in that moment, because like I said, every girl that experiences this in their pregnancy scare, they truly believe that they're not going to be pregnant. But I remember falling to the ground and just like gasping. I don't think I can explain what it's like when your world completely flips upside down. I was not ready for a baby. I was not ready to make the decision on whether I wanted to keep a baby or have an abortion. Because really, that's the reality of it. When you're this young, your mind instantly goes to like, well, shit, should I get an abortion? And at that moment, my mom comes and knocks on the door. And I have no idea what to say to her. I played it off as if me and Andres were having an argument, and she believed me. And I was like, I need to be alone right now. So that she wouldn't hear me, I went into my closet and I called my sister. That was the first person I called. And she instantly knew what was happening, because I think I had texted her beforehand. I was like, hey, I'm going to take the test. And I called her, and her too, she's like, no way, there's no way you're pregnant. Because like I said, you don't think that you are going to be, and then you are, and you have no idea what you're going to do with yourself. I think I was having a panic attack is what I would describe it as. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't breathe. She was asking me all these questions, and honestly, it's really fuzzy. I really remember what went down, but she talked to me. She tried to calm me down. I went to call Andres, and he wouldn't pick up his phone. I knew he was at work, so he was probably with a customer, but I could not wait. Like, I needed him to pick up right now. I couldn't deal with this for the next like 4 hours all by myself. So I called his store, and I was like, hi, I really need to speak to Andres right now. And the guy on the phone was like, okay, hands me over to Andres, and he is on the phone. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, it's positive. Like, I'm pregnant. This boy had nothing to say. Like, he was in shock, just on the phone, didn't say anything. He came home and he asked me what I wanted to do, and I said I didn't know, and he just held me for like a couple of hours, and we just sat there. And to be honest, the first month of knowing was hard. It was like this fog of just anxiety and just uncomfortableness that surrounded us. It's such a weird feeling because it can be amazing when you're planning for a baby and you find out, but when it's so random and it just happens out of the blue, especially when you're in a place in your life that you're not ready for it, it was really hard getting through that first month, especially because I felt like I was all alone in it. These days, everyone kind of expects you to get an abortion. But the instant emotional connection that I felt to Ezra, who was obviously just a little clump of cells at the time, but like, I automatically felt attached to the idea of what he could become. I was terrified out of my mind. And every conversation that I had with my parents was a conversation of, this is what it's going to be like. This is what your life is going to be like. This is how hard you're going to have to try. Like, are you ready for that? I know they were coming from a place of love. And they really just wanted to mentally prepare me for what was to come, which no one can mentally prepare you for how hard this is. But they were trying to give me an idea of what my life was going to be like. And it made the decision that much more difficult because it felt like everyone was advocating for an abortion and no one was advocating for keeping the baby, and it was like I was against everyone. And even though Andres respected my decision completely, we were both terrified. Basically, that same day, I am so bad at lying and keeping things to myself because I believe myself to be an empath. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and it's very difficult for me to hide what I'm feeling. I was very visibly upset, and my mom pulled me aside. I had been crying. She knew I had been speaking to my sister crying. And when my sister didn't want to say anything, my mom got a feeling. And I hugged her and I broke down crying, and I don't know how she knew, but she just asked me if I was pregnant, and I said yes. But the instant like calmness she embodied was so relieving. She was honestly such a place of comfort in that moment because she was able to soothe me when I didn't know what to feel. There were so many emotions. Later that day, she helped me sit my dad down, and I told him, and he was completely calm too. He was amazing. My entire finding out I was pregnant experience happened in one day. I really struggled with the decision. At that time, it was March, so we were planning for Andres' birthday. His birthday was March 11th. We had planned a trip to Corpus Christi, and we were going to be staying the week at a beach house over there. The way it panned out was I walked in and I told my parents, I think I want to keep my baby. Like, I think I can do this. I'm willing to put in the effort. I'm willing to do the research. I'm willing to change my life to do this. And they're like, you know what? You're going to this Corpus Christi trip. Take that week, really think about everything that we've spoken about, and come back and let us know what you decided. It was like we were in a standstill, Andres and I, basically just talking about everything. But I didn't waver. I knew I wanted the baby. It was more so allowing everything to settle in, which that trip was so different than we anticipated because it was Andres' 21st. So we were going to buy a bunch of alcohol and get drunk, and really it was more I was babysitting because it was my sister, her girlfriend, and Andres and me, and they all got drunk and I just babysat. I spent that week just letting it all digest, throwing up a lot, and when I came back I told my parents what I wanted to do. My mom cried, dad cried, and that's what we did. There was this one girl, but I remember reaching out to her specifically because she's always had this connection with God, and she has a way of speaking to you that just is very comforting. And in the midst of everyone advocating for an abortion, I texted her and I told her I was struggling. And she was like, you know what? One day you are going to have this little baby. And she just painted a picture for me. She's like, you're going to have this little baby. You're going to crawl in your bed with a nightmare, and you're going to be there to comfort your baby. And you're going to feel like you're home. That is exactly what I needed to hear. I feel like she played a very big role in my decision because she was the single person that was able to give me solace, because I knew that she was wholeheartedly advocating for me keeping the baby, and she talked to me about God and everything, and here we are today. I don't know if I've rambled on. I feel like I bored everyone, but maybe someone out there is interested in all the crap I have to talk about. But yeah, that was my experience with everything. I wish I could fathom the crazy roller coaster of emotions that it is finding out you're pregnant at such an early age. And the hormones, obviously, that are flushing through your body. Here we are today, 22-pound baby, 4 months old, love of my life. And I wouldn't change a thing. Best thing that's ever happened to me. Well, that about sums up my how I found out I was pregnant story time. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about, hear about, any other story times, I can post. There are a few clips we tried to film with an old camera that were horrible, but you can see how big I was. I will post polls on my Instagram, or you can leave a comment down below. Seriously, if we don't know you, or if you're a stranger, or if we know you from our high school life and you're watching now, we would welcome this whole community. Really, leave a message down below. We get so excited with every view, every like, just even our friends just saying that they watch these videos, because we put so much effort into them, especially since we're so busy, and we genuinely enjoy making these videos. So anything you would like to see, please don't be shy. Leave a comment, vote on our polls, because there's so many things we want to make, but we just want to know what you guys want to watch. Please like, share, subscribe. I loved telling you guys all about how I found out I was pregnant, because as much as it was crazy, it was a beautiful experience thinking back to it, that it was so different than from now. Life is just beautifully blossomed for us. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!